Hi, welcome to the Andrew Buckle magazine review of Infinity 40. Now this is the latest issue, just picked it up in W.H. Smith's and it's Raiders of the Lost Ark at 40. Wow, where's the time gone? Then you got Quantum Leap. I loved Quantum Leap. Next one there, Seaquest. I hardly watched a single episode, probably a few, but you got Kung Fu Fighting and also of course Bullseye and others, Lady Penelope as well, Doctor Who, Sylvester McCoy. As usual, Dark Side advert. This one sounds quite good actually. I picked it up and had a quick flick through. Don't always buy it every month, but sometimes I do. But that one you can see, and also of course got all the features there as well as the regulars, so you can see that. Then lovely editorial about eggs. I love eggs, so it was quite amusing actually. All the various things about eggs. Quite sad to read about that. That was see. The actor from The Champions has just died. So I enjoy watching Champions. That's on Talking Pictures at the moment. Thoroughly enjoyable. Unistub, of course. And also this was quite fascinating. I didn't realise about the audio CD of Dalek Invasion. Always quite nice to find out what happened after, of course, the TV series finishes. And then suddenly the story goes on, obviously, with Susan. So that was just quite interesting to see. I know my mate buys quite a lot of those audio ones. So I must talk to him about that one. Right, so you've got here Lady Penelope, you've got, and this I think is one of the great art, for me anyway. I love all these ones because it's just got all the lovely pictures of the magazines. Great little picture there as well. I think it's near enough building up a massive history of UK comics or British comics. And I think it would be wonderful to see a huge book of all those articles, as well as, of course, more details. It would be superb. Obviously, there's lots of horror ones and other things, science fiction stuff. But comics would be really good. I don't think there's not that many books about British comics, and it would be great to see more. These articles are always fascinating to go through. I read it, reread it many times, and every time I find something new. This bit, free plastic rain hat. You obviously they always had special gifts and things. You do quite obviously most of those have long disappeared. Actually, they never put an example of those free gifts in here. Pity. However. Also the annuals, Lady Penelope there, and also Joe 90 annual as well. And it'd be nice actually if there was an article about annuals. Maybe they have done that, no idea. But also you've got here Land of the Giants, you've also got Star Trek and many other things that turned up in these as well. The artwork was always, I think, superb, generally. I mean, there were always obviously a few ones that probably weren't great, but it's always fascinating there. And also another thing which I like about these articles is that it talks about how it all finished. It's always fascinating to find out, because sometimes you obviously find out about how it started or you see it in the shops, you think, oh, wow. And of course, then after about 30 odd issues, it's not there anymore. And you think, what happened to that? And it's got all about how that ended. So that's just a brilliant end to this article. And this is the one that really shocked. I was having a cup of coffee when I was looking through this, and suddenly I thought, what? And suddenly see myself in the magazine. I was not expecting that. Absolutely wonderful. Thank you for putting that letter out. It was really quite nice to see that. I thought, what? And I showed it to quite a few friends and they were quite surprised as well. So I love also the Doc Savage there and the numbskulls. I always love the letters pages. And that one made it even more special. I was really dumbstruck on that one. Now, this is great. I love these articles. This is about Finding Nemo. Now, I have to say, not particularly well known for me anyway, these films. So, see, sometimes we look at them and think, oh, I must go and check these films out. And it's quite often sort of some really obscure ones. And I love the fact there's like scripts and all those sort of things there. And, of course, all the various illustrations. Just really well researched. 2,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Fascinating. So, I remember seeing them a long time ago, but certainly the old ones, I haven't seen those. I have to say that's just so that's great, and there's quite a few pages about it, and lots of examples. Mysterious Island, and then of course, good old advert. This one for Classic Screen Monsters. Yes, another amazing book, and at a great price, £22.50. So really worth checking out. I haven't got a copy, so don't hold me on that. That would be, but I'm certain I've got a number of these books. And they've all been excellent. So I'm certain that will be really fascinating as well. And of course, you've got all the old back issues as well. Raiders of the Lost Ark, 40. Love those films. And it's just great. Got lots, of course, examples of the famous scene there. Brilliant series of films. And of course, lots of the posters as well. Always got actually quite a lot of pages for that as well. It's quite the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. And then obviously the advert there. And also Enter the Dragon. I love these posters. I don't know how many people rip them out of the magazine. I would never do that. That's one thing. I have never pulled them out. Maybe you could buy a second copy or something and put them up on the wall. But anyway, I haven't done that. These are always good. Tomorrow War. One of my mates said, that was brilliant. I still haven't seen it. I must admit, there's so many programmes on TV that I'm going through at the moment. You just can't keep up. Of course, Walking Dead, all the Lower Decks, whatever. Was it Below Deck? Lower Decks. All those sort of things. Just great shows, but they're just so, you can't watch everything. And of course, as always, lots of great Blu-rays and DVDs to watch. And John Carpenter's Village of the Damned. And as soon as I saw that, of course, this is do a soundtrack. I love soundtrack albums. However, I did actually go and buy the DVD. I haven't watched that for ages. So I thought, ooh, sounds a good film. And it was reasonably priced as well. So looking forward to re-see that again. This one, Kung Fu Fighting, great little article. I love this one, Honor Blackman. I remember that. Honor Blackman's Book of Self-Defense, and of course the brilliant magazines. Now, these recently have just come out in omnibus edition, so you could actually buy all these in huge omnibus editions. You can see all the omnibus editions behind me. I haven't got the Kung Fu ones. I do enjoy got a lot of the Master of Shang-Chi, or Shang-Chi, whatever it was. But anyway, Five Fingers of Death, lots and lots of these great films, and they were very good. Thoroughly enjoyable. I wouldn't say I've seen vast numbers of Kung Fu films, but the ones I have seen, I've always enjoyed. And also the comics, because that's the one I make, just Master of Kung Fu. Got quite a few of those, and there's some really good ones. Of course, Paul Gallucci. Anyway, you can see the artwork. I just love those. Absolute brilliant. Kung Fu Fighter, Carl Douglas. Of course, Roger Moore there. Great. Always been. And also an article about Bullseye. A show I have never watched. I have to say, it's just, we're not really particularly, I'm not into that sort of dance, so it's not a sort of thing to, I must go and watch that. But I probably have seen it once in a while. But it's great, lovely article as ever, lots of examples, pictures, and, well, probably is Challenge TV, a channel that I have not ever watched. I must admit, I watch Talking Pictures and a few other channels. Forces TV, I love Forces TV, who's got Blake 7 on at the moment, and they're just brilliant to watch. So I haven't watched Blake 7 for ages, though it is on BritBox as well, of course. Did catch a few episodes. Sometimes you watch them and you think they're not as good as I remember, but some are actually still genuinely very good. This one's great, Doctor Who, Script Doctor. Let's got a little picture there of Script Doctor. And this is also the end of Sylvester McCoy. And it's just fascinating. I watched a few of them, Remembrance of the Daleks, of course, and I looked for the Script Doctor one. I just noticed it's marked as collectible, which basically means it's expensive. So hopefully, maybe a copy might turn up in a charity shop or something, but it's one of those ones that if you're looking online, I suspect you might find it's quite expensive to buy. This is the one thing with this magazine, quite often it shows things and you think, I must go and check, and they're £100 or something. You think, what? No, I'm not going to spend that. But anyway, you got this. This I loved. This is a great article. Molesworth's Musings. And I totally agree. It would be, once something's gone, you will miss it. And I think there's a lot at the moment about the BBC. And I totally agree. I love the BBC. I mean, there are things wrong with it all the way through. I mean, I would say things, and he mentioned some of the things with some of the stuff that's on during the day, some of the shows, I just really think they could do a lot better. I would like to see more drama, sort of Play for Today and all those sort of things, all the sort of shows that I loved. But generally, I've watched some great shows over the last couple of years, and I just think I would miss it. And as much as I love BritBox, I love Disney Plus and all those, definitely this is great. And BBC iPlayer is always worth checking out. There's so many great shows, especially the arts ones on BBC4. It's quite sad that sometimes they keep changing that. I wish they would put more and more art shows on BBC4. And then you've got Seaquest. I think I've watched one or two over the years. I really can't say it particularly comes to mind as a great show, but I'm certain it was fine. I've been enjoying Vigil. That was superb, if not slightly daft, but thoroughly enjoyable. Great. Obviously no resemblance. I don't remember seeing any aliens turning up in Vigil. However, that would be a weird for the second season, wouldn't it? Or third season if they did that. Then you're probably thinking those things have gone wrong a bit. However, Quantum Leap, wow, I just love that show and it's just great. Of course, I keep talking about Quantum Leap and there is brief mentions about Quantum Leap coming back. And I've always thought the last episode was one that I sort of like, but there were so many great episodes in here. It shows some of the, obviously the classic one there, the evil Leaper story and other ones, just classics, absolutely great. But it was one of those shows, again, lots of TV series unfortunately have that, where the last episode builds up and you think, However, what a great show overall. It was just, for me, and this article is just brought back loads and loads and loads of memories. So I just love it. Brilliant. And this one got all the various books. You got British horror, terrors, etc. Italian horrors, brilliant. I love that book. Invasion, television terrors, superb as well. Hammer, superb. And then, of course, now this one actually, and I don't know, maybe it's my memory of the thing. I thought the date was listed as coming out in October, this issue. I was expecting it on the 4th. For some weird reason, it turned out in my local W. Smith's earlier, which was slightly odd. I thought, oh, okay. But it's listed apparently coming out on the 28th of October. And of course, it's got the usual selection, Tiger Comics. Again, another brilliant article, I'm certain, for comics. So I'm looking forward to that. You got here Mighty Mouse. I love Mighty Mouse. Of course, loads of other examples here. Ray, and I can say his name, Ray Harryhausen. Probably said his name completely wrong. Jason and the Argonauts. Secret Service. There is an example of that on BritBox. I must watch that. I have yet to sit down and watch it. I don't think that was one I ever watched. Because it's sort of around that time of Joe 90, and I was never a fan of Joe 90. Captain Scarlet. I loved Captain Scarlet. Space 1999, yes, and so on and so on. Again, on BritBox. Thoroughly enjoyable. And then we've got Darkfest at the back with all the various things. This is obviously November 27th. And yet another absolutely totally recommended brilliant magazine. I love this. I look forward. This is the only magazine I look forward to each and every month, I must admit. So I will be getting that. And as it says, it's actually it's slightly, obviously price went up recently, so it's £4.25. I think it's still great value. £4.25, absolutely superb. Brilliant. Infinity, issue 40. I love it. Totally recommended.